Hello and welcome to this video. One of the things that made me really fall in love with NLP when I first started studying the subject was the work that it does around linguistics, and the L of NLP is linguistic, and it draws from this huge study, a lot of the hard work was done by Noam Chomsky, who wrote a book in 1957 called Syntactic Structures. In fact, that study of linguistics has been going on for thousands of years by people who've recognised the power, the incredible power of language. So one of the structures that really changed the way that I feel about the world, something clicked in my head and made me fall in love with NLP and decide that I had to learn the whole subject, was around a structure of language called nominalisations, and that's what I want to talk about today and share with you. So a nominalisation is a linguistic structure whereby you turn a process into a noun. You turn a way of doing something into a thing itself. So here's the example, and if you listen out, you'll hear it in people's language quite a lot. So an easy example is when you hear somebody say, my relationship's really bad. Yeah, the relationship that I have with my wife or my spouse is really bad at the moment, or really good. In fact, it doesn't really make any difference. But it's just that process of turning a process into a noun. So if I say, I have a really great relationship with my wife, or the relationship with my wife is really good, what I'm really doing is I'm breaking things down into three separate objects. So there's me, there's my wife, and between us there's this thing called the relationship. And what linguistics and NLP says is, hey, here's the news, right? The relationship as a separate entity, it doesn't exist. All there is the way that you relate and they relate to you. So that thing in the middle, it's actually not there, and so you can't blame it for being bad or good, which is actually really empowering because it brings the responsibility back to the individual. And this is one of the things that we're taught to look out for when you do a NLP practitioner with us. We emphasize this a lot, that if you listen to the structure of people's language rather than the content and not get caught up. So a client might come in and say, oh, my relationship's really bad. It's very easy to fall into the trap of saying, but why? Why is your relationship bad? When in actual fact, the kind of NLP response to that would be, what is it about the way that you're relating that's not getting you the results that you think that you want? Which is a much more empowering way of thinking about it, because it brings it back it brings the responsibility and the power to do something about it back to the individual, rather than blaming things on this big blobby third party, the relationship, which is either good or bad or difficult or easy. And in fact, that's not there at all. So that's a nominalisation, and there's hundreds and hundreds of examples of these. You'll hear it in just about all walks of life. People say communication in this company is really bad, or there's a lot of fear around here. There's lots and lots of examples, and this is exactly the type of thing that we teach on our free seminars, on our one-day introduction to NLP, on our two-day NLP diploma course, and indeed on our practitioner. We'd love for you to come on one of our courses, or all of our courses, and if that's something that interests you, do go and have a look at our website, which is cbptraining.com. You can also check us out on Facebook. We've got lots of interesting stuff on our Facebook site, which again is CBP Training. I hope you found that useful. I certainly did. It really revolutionised the way that I thought about my life and my relationships with other people. Do hope you found that interesting. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers. Bye bye.